So we need to be able to find the exact values of all 6 trig functions for the common angles on the unit circle and also any of those coterminal angles. And we need to know that in both degrees and radians. So if we have the cosine of 225, what I do rather than draw the whole unit circle is just draw the piece that I need. So I'm going to figure out where 225 is. We know that halfway around is 180 and that's another 45, so I'm right here in quadrant 3. I know that for the multiples of 45s that they are square root 2 over 2's and square root 2 over 2's for the point, except for signs for the correct quadrant. In quadrant 3, both x and y are negative. So the cosine of 225 is negative square root 2 over 2. Now I need the secant of negative 2 pi thirds. I can either apply even odd identities to take care of the negative on the argument, or I could also just simply plot a negative angle when I'm thinking of the unit circle, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go this direction because it's negative, and I'm going to plot 2 pi thirds, which is smaller x, bigger y, so I know that one is 1/2 and square root 3 over 2, except in quadrant 3 both x and y are negative, so I need negative signs on both of those. Now I'm ready to do secant. Secant is the reciprocal function for cosine, so I look at the x value here and I take its reciprocal and it's negative 2. Okay, now I'm ready to do the cotangent of negative 3 pi halves. So looking at cotangent, I'm going to go in the negative direction to 3 pi halves, and 3 pi halves is right here where I'm looking at 0 and 1. We know cotangent is cosine of the angle over sine of the angle, so that's going to be 0. All right, let's move down. We have cotangent of 420 degrees. Well, that's not one loop around the unit circle. It's coterminal with something on the first loop, so I'm going to subtract 360 to find out what that is, and that's 60 degrees. So I need to think of 60 degrees, which is right here in quadrant 1, littler x, bigger y, which means it's 1/2 and square root 3 over 2, and everything's positive in quadrant 1. Now I need to do cotangent. Cotangent is cosine of the angle over sine of the angle, so that's going to be the x value over the y value. And then I'm going to invert and multiply, flip the bottom over and multiply it, and the 2's will cancel, and so my answer is 1 over square root 3. Not wrong if you rationalize, but there's no need to take the time to do that. All right, now I'm on cosecant of 5 pi sixths, so I know 5 pi sixths is over here in quadrant 2. Bigger x, littler y is square root 3 over 2 and 1/2, but in quadrant 2 x values are negative. Now I'm ready to answer cosecant. The cosecant of an angle is a reciprocal function for sine, so I look at the sine and take the reciprocal, and that is 2.